Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, and today we are going to be talking about the Werewolf of Twisted Tree Lodge. Now, this is the final book review of 2025. I do have one more video on the way. No promises, because it might get fucking botched or pushed aside. I don't know. Yeah, we are here closing off our Black Spines, almost. We only have 2 more to do after this. Those will be in January, believe me. And this is actually the final non-special edition I have to review. So this is a big one. And it's actually one of the more popular Black Spines, too. So, funny enough, this one's mostly popular for its quality. A lot of people genuinely like this one a lot, I think. And also, it has a explicit reference to the Goosebumps TV series intro, which is so random. Like, why? Of all things, is that referenced in this book? I don't know, but it is. So, I guess that's helping it cement its popularity. But either way, let's just talk about it. Enough of the blah! Dances with Werewolves? The Revenge of the Werewolves. That's the title of your horror story that just won first prize. Too bad you didn't actually write it. Too bad you decided it would be a good joke to turn in the story you found in the trash. Because now the joke is on you. When you go to collect your prize, a weekend with famous horror writers at Twisted Tree Lodge, you discover that these writers tell only true horror stories. Like the one about the kid being chased by a pack of ferocious werewolves. That means run, before you really have something to howl about. The choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure that's packed with over 20 super spooky fucking endings. I can't wait to not be able to say that. Werewolf of Twisted Tree Lodge is a quite liked one, and I am different. Yeah, for once, I don't really agree with that. I think this book is fine. It doesn't do a lot for me, though. I do have some big issues with it, but let's start off with the positives. This one has some interesting thematic elements, such as the meta-humor with the fact that this is all about writing, and also the TV show intro, again, being heavily referenced very early on in this book. And I want to say it immediately in the upsides for anything else. I think that might be a factor to why people, I say, overrate this book. I'm not saying that's the real reason, but it might be a factor. Because I don't know. Like, I don't really see why people like this one so much, outside of the concept being cool. We'll get to that in a second. But it's just like, you know, it's a cool reference. A lot of people love the show, but I don't think it's anything more than, I like it, you know? So, I don't know. I think a lot of people might be nostalgia baited or something. I don't know. I'm just saying. There's a lot of interesting concepts in this book as well, like the base concept, with the whole, you're being lured into a trap, and the writers might be monsters trying to eat you, or werewolves, or maybe one of them's a werewolf, and they start infecting each other with the werewolf disease, whatever you want to call it, just making each other werewolves, and many other avenues. I like all the variations it takes of that base concept, but generally, that base concept is really good, and I think it definitely fared well for a GYG, though I'll get to the execution a bit, and why I think it's And other concepts that I liked are, like, mainly the manuscript thing, where it tells you the future, and other things. So yeah, this book has some interesting ideas at play, and I quite liked a lot of those concepts. And generally, just looking at this book from, like, a glance, it's like, oh, cool, I like a lot of those ideas at play, I wonder how they'll fare up. And it's, like, kind of boring. This book is really in one ear and out the other. There's not a lot to garner from here outside of that concept, and that's it. I basically have already forgot this whole book, and I read it not even a month ago. Yeah, just want to say it, man. This book is kind of boring. One of my big issues with GYGs, it's either it does not differ much at all, or it differs way too much from that base concept. If you want to take some of the most abhorrently differing books, I'd say Carnival of Horrors, the first one, not the second one. The first one, just, it's so unbelievably random, it kind of weighs down that book. This one is so utterly focused on the main idea, it's like, where's the fun? You know, because I enjoy it, too. But it's just kind of boring when it's barely varying, when there's barely any variation for 135 pages of this book. It's all about the same idea, and when it doesn't even try to focus on that as much in, say, the outside arc, as I have kind of dubbed it, since both arcs are so similar, they literally just blend for me. They're so similar, Jesus Christ, that I just call it the outside arc, since it takes place more so outside. And that one tried to do some more interesting stuff, but also most of the endings kind of suck, too. So that's also a huge factor in what's weighing this book down. Not that they exactly suck, but a lot of them are just super mediocre and don't do anything for me, and there's like a handful in here that are genuinely really bad. There's one where your dad shows up, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's one of the worst endings I've ever read. It's so... what? Stupid stuff. Yeah, so majority of the endings aren't very good or even of decent quality. And again, the book is just super repetitive and boring, and it barely differs from that base concept in a way that just weighs it down, because I don't think it can fare up a whole book in itself unless it variates, and it just does not much at all. And it's disappointing in that regard. So yeah. I'm going to give Twisted Tree Lodge a 6 out of 10. I didn't really like it that much. I just thought it was fine. You know, it does its job with that base concept, but nothing else outside of that, which makes it pretty boring, I guess, and not very intriguing. But still, I generally did like a lot of the ideas at play here, and the theming is pretty nice. Hope you guys enjoyed this book review. Tell me what you think about Werewolf of Twisted Tree Lodge down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.